I've been shot, I've been burned, I've been left in the sand, but I still ride like a gun in my hand. The dirt can't keep me, the sky won't fall. I was born too stubborn, too damn bold, too stubborn to die proper, too wild to break, too slow to fall. I ride where the reapers step back, I don't hear no last call. Too stubborn to die proper, the dust can chase but I don't stall. The skies come close but I ride through it all. I've been shot, I've been burned, I've been left in the sand, but I still ride like a gun in my hand. The dirt can't keep me, the sky won't fall. I was born too stubborn, too damn bold, too stubborn to die proper, too wild to break, too slow to fall. I ride where the reapers step back, I don't hear no last call. Too stubborn to die proper, the dust can chase but I don't stall. The skies come close but I ride through it all.
I've walked through fields where brothers fell, heard the last breath in a whispered hell, held hands too cold, kissed eyes gone dim, and faced the end without a hymn. I've buried names with no headstone, laid my guilt beside their bones, seen time slow down inside a scream, and still I stand, still I dream. I've slept beside the darkest nights, fought shadows bare without the lights, talked to ghosts inside my head, made peace with all I should have said. Life has taken more than given, left me cracked but still I'm living, and now I see what others fear. Death ain't the monster lurking near. It's not the grave that shakes my soul, it's all the life I didn't hold. Death don't scare me now, not after all I've seen. It's just a door, a quiet vow, not something cold and mean. I've danced too close to fire and bled without a sound. I lost my fear, I lost desire, but never lost this ground. So take your scythe, take your vow, death, don't scare me now. I've watched the sunset slow on truth, held the silence of wasted youth, felt the ache of time slip by as lovers weep and fathers lie. But through it all I made a choice to give my pain a roaring voice, and when that curtain draws its line, I'll go down standing, not behind. I fear the things I left unsaid, not where I'll sleep when I am dead. Death don't scare me now, I've made my peace with night. just a hush, a fading sound, not something left to fight. The pain I wore was armor thin, but still I took the vow to face the dark, to hold my skin. Death, don't scare me now. If you hear I'm gone, don't cry too long. I left this world with a warrior's song. I face the dusk with eyes wide open. No prayers for fear, no words unspoken. Death, don't scare me now. I've walked beside it slow, shared a drink, shared a vow, and let the silence grow. So when it comes to call my name, I'll tip my hat and bow, for I have lived without the shame and death. Don't scare me now. I've walked through fire with blistered feet, carried shame I couldn't beat, watched good love turn cold and fade, and build my faith from what's decayed. I've seen the mirror show regret, felt the weight of every debt, but still my boots hit dirt and stone, 'cause looking back just turns to bone. I've left behind 100 ghosts, the pain that used to matter most. Letters I burned, roads I denied, names I whispered, tears I dried. But dreams don't bloom in backward fields, they grow where heart and grit won't yield. So I don't turn when echoes call, I face the sun, I stand up tall. Don't need a map to find my way, I've got scars that light the day. No, I won't look back, the past can't hold me down. I buried the weight, I burned the track, to chase what can't be found. I've got fire in my veins, and wind beneath my skin. The dream ain't lost, it just begins, so I won't look back again. I've tasted doubt, I've heard the lies, felt the cold and hopeful skies. But even storms can carve the path that leads a man to what he has. I've bled for dreams they said were wrong, but failure taught me to be strong. And now I walk through dust and flame, with nothing left to drag my name. I've got no time for what I've missed, I live for every dream I've kissed. No, I won't look back, let the ghost just fade to ash. I'm not the man who used to crack, I'm built to rise, not crash. The sky is wide, the road is long, but every mile is mine again. I've come too far, I've grown too strong to ever look back again. There's peace in letting go, and power in the pain. I wear my past like armor now, not chains, not guilt, not shame. No, I won't look back, my eyes are on the line, where dreams run wild and time runs black. but I still rise and shine. Let the world say what they will, my truth don't need to bend. 'Cause I've got breath, I've got the will, and I won't look back again. I don't wear gold, I wear my name, built from sweat, not fortune or fame. I don't chase crowds, I walk alone, but my word is carved in solid stone. I've lost some fights, but I never ran. I've buried dreams, stood like a man. And when the storm rolls through my door, I don't flinch, I stand for more. Perfect, I've made my share of choices that led me nowhere, but I owned each one, never blamed the sky. I faced the mirror and met my eyes. I help the weak, I guard my own. I don't throw stones from a glass bone throne. I raise my sons to tell the truth and earn respect, not just their youth. The world may change, the lines may bend, but real men don't pretend. I'm a man you can stand behind, not the loudest but the solid kind. I don't talk much, I've proven time that fire and faith can still align. I hold the line, I take the fall for what is right. I give my all. I ain't perfect, but I ain't blind. I'm a man you can stand behind. Watched the world turn soft and cold, seen morals bought and honor sold, but I still pray when no one sees and keep my vow on wounded knees. I'll die before I trade my soul for silver coins or fool's control. And if my silence speaks too loud, it's 'cause I don't bow to any crowd. They'll write their lies, they'll cast their doubt, but I know what I'm about. I'm a man you can stand behind, no mask to hide, no game to find. I walk through fire with peace of mind, 'cause I won't break for what's maligned. I build not fame but legacy, and what I start I let it be. I've failed and fallen, still I grind. I'm a man you can stand behind. When my grave gets marked one day, let them ride, just this I pray. He stood for truth through storm and flame, and never once betrayed his name. I'm a man you can stand behind, through the dark, the doubt, the grind. I've bled for honor, not for shine, and left no weaker man behind. This world may burn, may twist the truth, but I'll still teach my sons this proof, that even in the hardest times, be a man they can stand behind. fighting their demons, never breaking free. I carry the weight, I carry the fire, buried in sorrow but fueled by desire. These bones are weary, but I won't fall, 'cause a man stands tall, or he don't stand at all. I buried my father, I buried my pride. Now I walk with the ghost that never subside. Every sunrise feels like a war, but I ain't backing down. I was made for more. The wind whispers stories of men like me, fighting their demons, never breaking free. I carry the weight, I carry the fire, buried in sorrow but fueled by desire. These bones are weary, but I won't fall, 'cause a man stands tall, or he don't stand at all. Let the thunder roar, let the cold winds bite. If this is my curse, I'll own this fight. No grave gonna hold me, no chain gonna bind. I'm the storm they forgot, the storm they can't find. I carry the weight, I carry the fire, buried in sorrow but fueled by desire. These bones are weary, but I won't fall, 'cause a man stands tall, or he don't stand at all. The moon hangs low on a hollow night, casting shadows long in the pale moonlight. The wind whispers secrets through the pines of love long lost in borrowed time. Shares on the hollow, they dance and they weep. Secrets in the soil buried deep. Heart that's broken, it never forgets. In the still of the night, it lives with regret. The creek runs cold where the willows bow. It's song a hymn to the sorrow we allow. I see her face in the rippling stream, a ghost of a love that was only a dream. Shadows on the hollow, they dance and they weep. Secrets in the soil buried deep. A heart that's broken, it never forgets. In the still of the night, it lives with regrets. The steel slide moans like a mourning dove, calling out for the ones we love. Every chord's a cry, every note a tear. The past is a shadow always near.
fire's gone cold, just embers remain, like memories burn through the pouring rain.
The moon hangs low, a ghost in the sky. A cold wind whispers a lonesome sigh. Footsteps fade where the tall grass sways, out on the prairie where the shadows play. Oh, the darkness knows my name. It calls me back, it fans the flame. A heart once whole, now torn apart. Shadows on the prairie, they haunt my heart. A cabin stands where the paint is peeled. Memories linger, wounds never heal. The rusted gate creaks in the breeze, a mournful hymn from the swaying tree. Oh, the darkness knows my name. It calls me back, it fans the flame. A heart once whole, now torn apart. Shadows on the prairie, they haunt my heart. There's a grave beneath that old oak tree. The years may pass, it won't set me free. I hear her voice in the midnight rain, a fleeting echo of love and pain. The stars burn dim in the endless black. Each step I take, there's no turning back.
The moon hangs low, a pale cold light, casting shadows through the dead of night. The ridge stands silent, a ghostly frame, whispering secrets, calling my name. Shadows on the ridge, they know my sins, they haunt my soul where the dark begins. Every step I take, I feel their weight, a heavy toll for tempting fate. Like a lonesome hymn through hollow trees in the canyon's rim. I hear the echoes of what I've done, a past that hides from the rising sun. Shadows on the ridge, they know my sin, where the dark begins. Every step I take, I feel their weight, a
night won't break the chains of guilt they refuse to shake. The ridge remembers, it keeps its hold, a story carved in the rocks and cold. Shadows on the ridge, they know my sins, they haunt my soul. Where the dark begins, every step I take. Wind howls low through the pines at night. A whiskey moon spills its silver light. The ghosts of my sins rise up from the ground. Each step I take, they're still hanging around. There's a lonesome road where the shadows crawl, a place where memories build their wall. I hear her voice in the cold, cold breeze, a mournful hymn carried through the trees. A whiskey moonlight guide me home, through the fields where I've always roamed. I've lost a love, I've lost my way, but I'll keep walking till the break of day. The bottle's emptied, but it burns my veins, like her leaving left these endless stains. The night is heavy, the air stands still, the weight of regret bends my iron will. Steel strings cry like the tears I hide, the echoes of a love that's long since died. The stars don't shine, the sky won't mend, in this hollow heart where the darkness bends. A whiskey moonlight guide me home, through the fields where I've always roamed. I've lost her love, I've lost my way, but I'll keep walking till the break of day. I was born where the desert don't forgive, or justice don't ask who's left to live. My daddy ran numbers, my mother ran scared. They buried their love in a county jail prayer. One night in July, they knocked on our door, said the badge don't bleed, but the poor sure do. They cuffed me for carrying what my father once held, a nickel-plated truth that don't sit well. The law took my gun, said boy you'll hang if you fight, but a man can still kill with his knuckles done right. You can strip me and still break my bones where I stand, but you can't stop a storm just by emptying my hands. 8 years in the hole, came out half a ghost with a list of last names carved into my throat. My brother got buried in a ditch out near Clyde, said it was self-defense, but that was a lie. Sheriff played poker with the man who pulled the blade, and the preacher gave his silence like a goddamn parade. So I traded my silence for a blood-slick plan, and trained every knuckle like the hammer of a man. The law took my gun, said my rights were revoked, but they didn't see me in that field of smoke. With every cracked rib and a splintered jaw's brand, I signed my vengeance in the lines of my hand. In the stockroom behind the butcher's old stall, I found the last man who watched my kin fall. His breath smelled of bourbon, his fingers of shame, and he whimpered my brother's forgotten name. I didn't shoot, didn't swing, didn't scream, just held his face still while he drowned in a dream. He said, "You know better," and maybe he's right, but justice ain't clean when it walks without light. The law took my gun, but I built my own gallows, with hands turned to weapons in the dark of the hollows. Now I sleep by the river with blood in the sand. No saint, no sinner, just a man with no hand. And if they carve me a stone, let the letters just say he was quiet too long till the silence got frayed. The law took my gun, but the law couldn't see. A man don't need bullets to make history bleed. Dust don't lie, and neither did Pa's will. But blood runs crooked when there's land to till. Showed up early, paper in his hand. Said you drink too much, you wouldn't understand. Tore the deed with a lawyer's smile. Left me standing by that fence line, dry as by. Ma's old rocker still creaks on the porch, where we drank lemonade and caught June with a torch. In the fields I bled for grow corn for his kids, while I rot in a trailer with a half-empty cigs. He paved over footprints that weren't even his, hung my father's boots like trophies on his fridge. Some debts ain't paid with a fountain pen. Took the dirt that raised my name, so I put them down slow. No rage, no flame. One shot in the dark by the old hay press. My brother took the farm, so I took his breath. That night smelled like rain and diesel and sweat. Heard his screen door creak, he hadn't locked it yet. I saw his eyes, hell he almost wept, but he said you always were the one Pa should've kept. I gave him time, I gave him grace, but nothing grows right when greed takes root in place. They'll find him face down by the sycamore, with dirt under nails and pride on the floor. I buried the gun near our mother's grave and whispered her name like I needed saved.
be rocking in that chair, staring into space. I ain't proud, but I ain't pretend. Some justice rides with a bitter end. He claimed the sword that held our breath, so I met him where blood forgets regret. One cold pull and a silence left. My brother took the farm, so I took his breath. Now the wind cuts clean through the open gate, and I sleep near the fields like it's twisted fate. The crops come up, but they don't taste right, 'cause revenge don't plow, it just haunts at night. I still hear his laugh in the rust and mesh, but the farm is mine now, and so is his death.
I was born where the dust don't settle, just to graze in the ditch we owe. Mama bled out in the winter kitchen, Daddy vanished with the calico. They carved my name in a jailhouse ledger before I even learned to write. A whisper in a whiskey bottle said, boy, you best learn how to fight. I left home with a rusted pistol, stolen boots and a broken grin. Made peace with the Lord and the devil both, and let the blood let in begin. They said Licrae was the one who did it, said my kin house flamed to bone. But the preacher never told the jury how they lynched me all alone. No one came to mourn me, so I did. In the black of the bayou where the silence hid, I dug my name in the bark with a Bowie knife, carved a sermon from the skin of a wasted life. If the world won't weep for the boy it broke, let the smoke rise high with every oath I spoke. Found Eli drunk near the cotton gin, bragging loud with his bloodhound pack. He laughed when he saw me standing there, till I put 6 in his coward's back. His brother Beck said he was just a fool, but fools don't torture home for sport. So I left him twitching by the dry creek bed, his confession cut too short. Ain't no redemption at the bottom of ride, just ghosts with names you never cry. And when the sheriff caught me riding west, he said, son, you look like death in a vest. I said, that's 'cause death don't ask permission, he just shows up dressed like me. Then I drew fast before he could finish and rode off through the cypress trees. No one came to mourn me, so I did. With fire in my hands and a slit-eyed bid, built my tomb out of guilt and flame, tattooed every sin with another name. If justice sleeps with its mouth sewn shut, let me scream till the blade finally cuts. Now I lie in a ditch with a grin, half-spent bullet kiss in the side of my dented den. A buzzard circles but won't commit, even death don't want the likes of it. So I etch these words with my final breath, into bark, into bone, into godless myth. No one came to mourn me, so I did, and I reckon I always will. dust in my mouth, blood on the brim. He rode off laughing like I meant nothing to him. Left me barefoot in the thorn-cut ground with a 38 empty and my pride shot down. Sunburned silence, buzzards above. Ain't no mercy in the land I love. He was kin one by blood, not choice. Spoke with my father's rusted voice. He stole more than leather when he took them boots. He carved out the part that still gave a damn about truth. Took my girl, took the coat, took the last of the rye. Left a note in the barn, next time don't lie. My feet bled trails across devil dry stone. Each step of prayer, each mile alone. A week without sleep, 2 fingers froze, but the fire in my gut kept my trigger close. He took my boot, so I took his leg. Laid him down hard in the black snake drag, shot out his knees in the cold red clay. Watched him crawl where the coyotes play. Ain't no redemption, just what fate begs. He took my boots, so I took his leg. Found him outside Tulsa, drunk in the shed, spitting out joke with a price on his head. He didn't see me till he tasted my steel. Didn't beg, didn't run, just grinned like a wheel. I said, you left me less than a man. Then I pulled that trigger with a steady hand. Cracked bones, splattered dirt, and a hollow scream. Justice don't come clean, it just comes mean. Now I walk in his boots, but they don't fit right. Like a ghost wearing skin that ain't stitched tight. Every step's a curse, every heel's a lie. They creak like coffins when the wind rides high. He took my boots, so I took his legs. Chained his sins to the buzzard pegs. Let the wolves raid him like a blood-red peg. A tale of law soaked in ash and rain. Ain't no law that a man respect. He took my boots, so I took his legs. I ain't proud of the man I became. broken, now I leave him bones. This road don't end, it just grinds down stone. So if you see a stranger walking slow, with eyes like gun barrels and a heart gone cold, know this: he took my boots and I took his soul. Dust rose as the rope went tight. Sun never blinked, just burned down bright. Sheriff lit a smoke, didn't meet my stare. Crowd full of whispers, not a soul said a prayer. She was only 16. I didn't kill her, but that preacher's boy swore I was a sinner. No trial worth spit, just a nod from the judge. Cold hands of the law, drunk on old grudges. I rode cattle for blood and bread, fought for men who'd see me dead. She was my sister, I buried her bones, while her killer poured wine in a banker's home. I tracked him through gulches, through drought and sin. Saw the silver ring he stole off her skin. I brought hell to his porch with a scattergun sight. He begged like a coward and I let him die. They hung me at dawn, boots off the ground, with a lie in their mouth and my name unbound. But they don't sleep now, no matter how they pray. I'm the creek in the wind, the footsteps that stay. I don't need chains or blood-soaked rights. They hung me at dawn, I haunt their nights. The sheriff drinks harder, can't hold his aim. Keeps his pistol loaded, whispering my name. His boy won't speak, just stares at the floor. Ever since he found my coat nailed to the door. Judge lives alone with his glass and a gun. Reads my last letter when the whiskey runs. They all know the truth, but they buried it deep. Now truth scratches walls where they try to sleep. I ain't no saint, I carve men in two, but I never touched her, God knows that's true. You can hang a man, but you can't kill wrong. It roots in the marrow, it sings in your song. They hung me at dawn, boots off the ground, with a lie in their mouth and my name unbound. But they don't sleep now, no matter how they pray. I'm the creek in the wind, the footsteps that stay. I don't need chains or blood-soaked rights. They hung me at dawn, I haunt their nights. So light your lamps, let the shadows stretch wide. I walk where guilt leaves no place to hide. I died with a curse and a fire in my chest. Their justice was fast, but the truth don't rest. I was born where the river chokes on rust, under smoke, thick skies, and the sheriff's distrust. Mama died with the Bible clutched to bone. Pa took a bullet sitting drunk and alone. By 16 I knew the taste of blood. By 20 I was running from the flood. Not water, no men with no names, carving tallies in their guns like they played a game. I rode with ghosts in the back of my mind, each one whispering what I tried to leave behind. Came to my able, I wore the sin, but it was him that taught me how to skin. My brother, yeah, the one I once saved, sold my name for gold and an unmarked grave. He told the law where I laid my head, then stood back smiling as they shot me half dead. So I lit the sun, let it burn out my name, turned my back on mercy, walked barefoot through flame. He took my blood, wore my face like a mask. I gave him a fire he'd never dare ask. No prayers, no deals, no turning to run. My shadow betrayed me, so I lit the sun. I found him hiding in a town called Mercy. He'd been preaching peace with a coat tucked under his vest. He had a preacher's tongue, a gambler's hands, spitting grace while he sold out desperate men. I watched him bless the wife of the man I'd shot, watched her cry, not knowing who he was not. Then I walked through the church with my boots loud as sin, and he knew right then hell was walking in. No last words, no plea, the Lord, he reached for steel, and I showed him war. His eyes, coward's eyes, never left the floor. When I emptied 6 truths through the chapel door, I dragged him out by his Sunday suit, hung him high from the town's dry rotted roots. Let the vultures weigh what justice costs, let the desert keep what mercy lost. Yeah, I lit the sun and I burned what I was, turned revenge into ashes, into cinders and dust. You can call me monster, you can call me done, but I never ran when the fire begun. He stole my name, now he's got none. My shadow betrayed me, so I lit the sun. Where no law dares to come, just a match and a memory and a loaded gun. Ain't looking for heaven, won't beg to be saved. Justice don't sleep in no unmarked grave. So if your brother lies and your kin turns cold, don't bury your fire, let the damn thing hold. Dust hadn't settled from the morning hanging when they dragged my boy through the courthouse gate. Said he shot a man behind a stockyard saloon, but that badge was never one to wait. They pinned it fast, no jury, no trial, just a noose and a goddamn prayer. I stood with blood in my throat and fire in my teeth while that bastard sheriff cut the air. He grinned like Cain in the gallows light, spit chaw at the boot words of my wife. She screamed till her throat cracked dry as bone when the road took our baby's life. I left her sobbing by the chapel doors, took my father's coat from the barn, saddled up with silence and a jar of rye and a heart too black to warn. Now the church bell tolls for every wrong, and I don't care who hears the sound. The sheriff took my only son, so I burned his world down. One bullet at a time I carved my vow. The sheriff took my son, so I took his town. First was his deputy drunk in the brothel. He begged in piss and shame, but I left him faceless on a feather bed, and I never once asked his name. Then I found his brother at the grain mill gates, praying to a God who don't look back. I lit the silo, turned wheat to ash, and left his bones buried in black. You'd think revenge would come like thunder, but it crawls slow and mean, like a snake in the belly of a canyon, wind hissing through the evergreen. The sheriff hid in the rectory loft, behind stained glass and sin. But I kicked the door and raised my piece and stared straight through his skin. He said he shot a man, I did my job, but I saw fear in his eyes. He knew what truth I wrote in my grip, that a lie wears a uniform disguise. I didn't yell, I didn't smile, just pulled the hammer back. And when that trigger kissed goodbye, the whole town turned to black. Now the church bell tolls for every wrong, and I don't care who hears the sound. The sheriff took my only son, so I burned his world down. With blood in my boots I walked him out. The sheriff took my son, so I took his town. Now I ride alone with smoke on my skin and ghosts for company. A man don't win when he kills for love, but he sure as hell don't bleed for peace. There's a cross on the hill where my boy still swings, and a graveyard where lawmen sleep. And every night that wind still howls, but it ain't my soul it keeps.
I woke up buried in a pine box dream, dirt in my mouth and blood on my teeth. No cross above, just a rusted nail, and the sound of crows dragging chains through the weed. My name was carved on a courthouse wall, a red ink lie signed by a judge with no soul. They took my breath with a preacher's grin, hung my past in the wind like a leather coat stole. They said I was dead, left me cold beneath their prayer. But I clawed through that grave with vengeance in the marrow strip there. I didn't come back for peace or proof. No, I came for the mountain that buried the truth. Rode through dusk with a borrowed gun, a 6-shot ache and a jaw full of spite. Found old Clay smoking pride at the station. Didn't blink when I ended his life. Next was Maybelle, sweet snake in lace. Said she cried when they threw me in the dirt. But a perfume light in the cellar told more. Bones don't forget how betrayal hurts. They said I was dead, left me to rot in their shame. But I rose from that pit with a fire too mean to tame. I didn't come back for mercy or proof. No, I came for the ones who sold off the truth. Now the sheriff drinks with my ghost every night. Swears he saw me, but swears it ain't right. They talk in hushed tones at the general store about a man with no pulse who settled old scores. Last stop's a house with a porch light low. My brother sitting there with a guilty smoke. He raised his glass, said, hell, I thought you'd stay gone. I raised my gun, said you knew all along. One shot rang through that broken dust, one so heavier in the air than dust. Ain't no victors in the games we choose, only graves and names and nothing to prove. They said I was dead, so I let the silence speak. But silence turned sharp when the liars got weak. I didn't come back for peace or truth. I came 'cause revenge don't need no excuse. Now I ride with the weight of my name gone blind, just a whisper in the weed and a stain on time. They said I was dead, so I killed the truth and left justice behind. barbed wire rising dust like a loaded gun. He said he'd love me till the killing was done, but his boots walked out when the barn went red. Left my hands tied, thought I'd burn instead. Ash in my teeth, lungs full of heat. I screamed his name till my voice turned weak. Crows circled high as the rafters fell. He watched from the hill, left me in that hell. He left me in the fire, I came back as smoke, drifting through the cracks of the vows he broke. You can't outrun the ghost in the flame. I wear a saint but not his name. No saint, no savior, just the breath he choked. He left me in the fire, I came back as smoke. First man I found wore his hat, not his face. Spilled some truth in a whiskey place. Said that son of a bitch lit up your sky. Now he's playing poker in Elkhorn High. I rode through the dust with my jaw locked tight, blood in my mouth like a prayer half right. The sheriff turned when he saw my eye. Didn't ask a word, just let me ride by. He left me in the fire, I came back as smoke, threading through towns like a hangman's joke. I ain't mercy, I ain't law, I'm the last damn breath for a man sees God. No halo, no hope, no rope or yoke. He left me in the fire, I came back as smoke. I found him where the river forgets its name, laughing with a girl who looked half the same. He reached for iron, I reached for none. He was dead before the draw had begun. I didn't speak, just watched him fall, face full of fear back to the wall. Lit a match on the wind, let it all ignite. Walked away silent into that night. He left me in the fire, I came back as smoke. Nothing to bury, no words to evoke, just a shadow passing down dry creek beds, where love once lived but vengeance treads. A woman alone burned clean of hope. He left me in the fire, I came back as smoke. If you smell char in the desert air, that ain't wood, it's a cross I bear. And if you see a rider with eyes like coal, say a prayer for the man who sold her soul. He strung me up at dawn behind the courthouse gate, said my crime was blood, my fate was weight. 12 cold eyes, not a one blinked twice, but the rope slipped loose like a roll of dice. Broke the gallows rail, hit the dirt full face. Breath came back like a long lost grace. They called it love, I called it dead, and I wasn't done with my dying yet. The hangman lived, but I didn't. I rode out with the wind, no forgiveness in it. One last name carved on a gunmetal kiss. The law let him live, I swore he wouldn't be missed. The hangman was hiding in a town where the smoke don't clear. Drank church wine with a smirk and no fear. Took my brother's girl and took his life. Lit the house and walked off with the knife. Sheriff said justice don't ride for the poor. I gave that bastard what he paid for. His face broke open when the hammer came down. No trial, no cell, no burial ground. The hangman missed, but I didn't. A dead man walks where my boots have been in it. No prayers were said when I pulled that trigger. Some men die slow, but I chose quicker. The hangman missed, but I didn't. Now I sleep where the coyotes cry. One eye open, pistol by my thigh. A wanted name with a blood-stained rib. God don't visit where I've stepped. I ain't asking mercy, I ain't seeking grace. I buried all that in his unmarked place. Years done past and my hands still shake. Whiskey won't drown what a man can't fake. Saw his ghost in a mirror once, grin wide like he knew I'd never rest inside. But I trade my soul for that single round, the one that laid his laughter down. The hangman missed, but I didn't. I took what I came for every damn minute. Ain't no glory in the way he fell, just a silence deep as a Texas well. The hangman missed, but I didn't. So if they find me face down in the dust, don't bother with a coffin or a preacher's trust. Tell them this, I was guilty of sin, but I finished what the road couldn't begin.
Dust in my teeth, rope round my wrist. Preacher said prayers, they threw the last fist. 6 feet down in a pine wood box, moonlight blinked through the cracks and rock. I heard them laugh as the shovel hit clay. My brother's cross burned bright that day. I bit through rage, I clawed through stone. My breath was ash, but I crawled back home. Found my name scrawled out on a ballroom wall. Traitor, they wrote in a crooked scrawl. Sheriff took silver, the judge took gin, while they stripped my land and skinned my kin. Ma's Bible's gone, Pa's rifle too. They sold the soil where my roots once grew. So I stitched my chest, I boiled my hate, and I carved their names on a 38. They buried me alive, but I ain't done yet. Their hands ain't clean, their tongues still wet with lies they fed to a God long fled. They left me for dirt, now I leave them for dead. One by one and the devil's out, I found them drunk in their rusted towers. A barn in flame, a well gone black. Every man bleeds the same when you shoot them in the back. I gave them choices, they chose to lie. So I lit their sins under prairies
sky. Didn't pray, didn't beg, just stared them down as the crows picked truth from the mud and ground. You call it murder, I call it dues. Justice don't ride in no sheriff's shoes. You don't crawl out of hell for peace. You come out swinging with a heart disease. They buried me alive, but I ain't done yet. Their boots still stomp through a field of dead. I was the lamb, now I'm the red. They lit the fire, I brought the lead. Now I ride with ghosts in my rearview glass. No home to hold, just a shadowed past. And if the gallows come to swing my neck, let the rope burn slow, I've paid my debt. They buried me alive.